Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living White Rock. I welcome you on this sunny Sunday, and we're going to kick off like we normally do with our fabulous musicians today, Leora Cash and Jay Krebs.
Good morning. It's early. We all feel the same. So let's enjoy it. And it's a blessed day. I know the word's going to come up too on there. Okay. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. May all be free from suffering, and may all be free from pain. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. May all be free from suffering, and may all be free from pain. Sing with me. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. May all be free from suffering, and may all be free from pain. One more time. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. May all be free from suffering, and may all be free from
Wow. Isn't it fabulous to have you guys back? Thank you so much. Well, good morning, everyone. It's so good to be with you today. I'm Reverend Tamara Rossander, and I have the joy of serving you as your spiritual director. And I just want to start by saying, whether you're in the room here with us or on Zoom, curled up on your couch, you're joining us maybe even later on YouTube today, that you are seen and that you're welcome here. And we're so glad to have each one of you, especially on this sunny Sunday when you could be out doing lots of other things, I'm sure. But if this is your first time with us today, welcome. And Sandy, she's up in the front here today. If she has a welcome package for you. So if you haven't got one yet, definitely grab her. She's has a great sense of humor, and I promise that she won't bite. But before we go any further, let's just take a moment, because I like to do this every Sunday, is I just like to take a breath. That breathing in, that pause, and then releasing. Let's try that again. In, pause, release. Everything's better in threes. Breathe, pause, release. Wow, I just felt my nervous system go down. I hope you all did as well. And whether you can breathe deeply or shallow, it doesn't matter. It's just that intention. But let's take a moment to honor this land that we gather on. It's the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish people, including Semiahmoo, Katsi, and Kwantlen nations. We give thanks for the care that they have given these lands and waters, and we hold this acknowledgement as a step towards right relationship, listening, and shared responsibility. So thank you to our Indigenous family, as we are all one. So here today, why are we here in this place right now? At CSL White Rock, we're an open and affirming community, and we do things just a little bit differently. We're a place for spiritual learning and growth, but we're also a place where you can laugh, where you can be real, where you can show up exactly as you are, and knowing that, guess what? You belong here. We're rooted in the science of mind. It's a spiritual philosophy that honors the wisdom found in many faith traditions, but more than that, we're a community that believes you are the architect of your own life, that it's never too late to know true happiness, and that each of us is a unique expression of the divine, and that our work here is simply to awaken to that truth, to live from the inside out, to be peace, to be love, and to bring our highest selves forward, and to have some fun along the way. So whether you're here for deep growth or for connection or for a little bit of inspiration, which you're going to be today, I know, with Reverend Savannah, or just because somebody dragged you along and you're being a good sport, you're welcome here. You belong here with us, and there is a place for you in this circle of community. So let's have a beautiful morning together. And now I welcome up our board vice president, Paul, to do our announcements.
It's no secret that one of my least favorite things to do is to do announcements. No, honestly. They're so intrusive. I've had to reframe this whole experience for myself. So I don't do announcements anymore. I want to talk this morning about opportunities for involvement. Doesn't that feel better? You know, last week we were talking about membership, and something that floated to the surface really organically was this idea of belonging and how important that is to so many of us. We're looking for this sense of belonging. One of the ways to arrive at that place where we feel like we belong is to be involved and to be connected. And so these are opportunities for us to connect together as a big family. One of the things that's going to happen is today, right after our gathering this morning, Reverend Tamara, in her bold voice, is going to do a membership workshop, and going to talk a little bit about what membership is, what it means here at CSL White Rock. And if you've got questions and if you just want to connect with people, we invite you to participate, to stay after the service, after our gathering this morning, and to participate in that membership workshop as we prepare for the AGM, which is coming up a little later this month. Another way that we can be involved is in evening spiritual circles. Practitioner Liv Daniels is hosting a spiritual circle on Tuesday, March the 10th from 7 to 8:30. It's on Zoom, and I know she has such a deep desire to serve and to be involved and to connect with people, and she's such a lovely person. And it's a space to learn and to practice spiritual principles, to be together, to have great conversation, to share and to listen and to be listened to. And you'll find the Zoom link for that on our website. So please participate in that if that's something that appeals to you. Next Sunday, the 15th of March, is our potluck Sunday, which is always a great time. People bring wonderful food, and we sit around and we eat, and we connect with one another, and it's awesome. So please come and participate in that. Bring some food to share. Coffee and conversation with our own Reverend Tamara is happening on Thursday, the 19th of March from 11 a.m. at Leon's Cafe. And those events have been really well attended, haven't they? It's been great. The people that participate in that really enjoy it. It's a relaxed time to connect and to chat and just spend time together and get to know one another and build a relationship together. So I wrote a quick reminder about our annual general meeting. It might not be a quick reminder, just buckle up and let's talk about this for a minute. So it's that time of year where we gather as a spiritual community to look at what's happened in the past and to look ahead at what's going to happen in the future. If you're a member already, we hope that you're going to be there. Nancy has the list of people who've signed up for membership already. If you check with her, she'll tell you whether or not you're on the list. And we want you to be on the list. We want you to be on the list. And so we hope that you'll participate in that. If you're not a member yet, it's easy to become one. You can register online. You can scan the QR code that is on the board over here. You can simply write your name on an envelope and put membership on it and hand it to Diane after our gathering this morning. One of the things that membership does is it allows me to vote at the AGM and to help chart the course for our future together. If you can't attend, you can give the proxy to somebody else and they can vote on your behalf. The suggested membership fee is $20 for individuals, $40 for couples, and $50 for families. And those fees are voluntary donations. They're not mandatory. So our AGM is going to take place on Sunday, the 29th of March, immediately following our Sunday gathering. And it'll happen both in person and on Zoom. Again, check with Nancy. She has the list. Make sure you're on it. Membership packages are going to be emailed this afternoon. So if you want to participate in the AGM, if you want to get all the information, you need to be on the list today so that Nancy can send that out to you this afternoon. And finally, just some of our weekly rhythms. Jill is pointing to me. I know what she's pointing to me about, so just take a breath. That's okay. No, I have the list. Oh, you've got the list now. Oh, Jill has the list. So here I'm saying Nancy's got the list. Our weekly rhythms, Sunday mornings at 10:30, 10 o'clock meditation, both in person and on Zoom. Can I just give you a plug? Can I just give a plug about Sunday morning meditation? It is awesome. We have such a wonderful time. And it really helps to prepare us for what's to come. And Tuesday morning meditation happens every week with Reverend Tamara on Zoom, Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. Now, before I finish and before Jill comes to lead us in meditation, Rhonda is going to come and talk about her book club.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rhonda. So our book this month that we are reading is called The Way of Integrity by Martha Beck. It is not too late to join the book club. We are meeting the last Monday of every month, so it'll be Monday the 30th of March at 7 p.m. on Zoom. So anybody that's interested, the book's readily available through online, through library apps, used bookstores. So it's not a big book, it's a little book, so I think that there's still probably time to read it and join our conversation. The book club is not one where you have to commit to every single month. It's if you like the book, join up, and if you doesn't interest you, then you can pass on to the next month. So yeah, just anyone who's interested, let me know. And I will take your email and send you the link and all the information. So I'm looking forward to a really good discussion. Thanks.
Good morning, beautiful people. Oh, you just take my breath away. All this beautiful energy and love in the room. Thank you for being here with us today. Let's just get comfortable in our chairs. Just relax in your chair. Feel the back of the chair, the seat. your feet on the ground. And let's just take a nice deep breath. And letting it go. Letting it go. And let's do it 2 more times. Another nice deep breath in. And releasing it. And one last deep, deep breath into the heart center. And letting it go. Just letting go. Letting go of what's behind us, what's in front of us. And being present in this moment, right here, right now. And just relax and breathe. Spirit has come, whose right it is. Spirit has made its home within me, and it will never depart from me. I shall never walk alone, for the One walks with me. Who knows the path of life, and whose feet will never falter nor fail? My inner light shines through the midst of human beliefs and frees me from the bondage of fear and limitation. I shall walk with you, my friend. I shall walk with you and shall learn of you the ways of life and freedom. We shall travel together from this day, and none can part us. For we are united in the perfect bonds of an everlasting unity. I welcome you back into the room as one. Namaste. And I welcome back Leora and Jay.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your healing power. And where Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only your precious light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Oh, Spirit, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring you love. Where there is injury, your healing power. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Oh, Spirit, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved, to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring you love. Where there is injury, your healing power. And where there's doubt, and where there's doubt, and where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace.
Spectacular. Wow, what a heart-opening experience so far this morning, eh? Jill's meditation and that beautiful song. And next, I know we're going to have another heartwarming experience and heart-opening is Reverend Savannah. I'm so pleased to call her a friend, a colleague, and she is just such a delight to have here with us. We're so fortunate that she drives all the way from Seattle to come and see us, to be part of our community. She has just a depth of knowledge and experience that she brings forward with relationship coaching, with boundary workshops, and she's been an ordained minister for a while now, but she's been a minister for 20 years. She was one of our first, how many? Minister, oh, only 10, not 20. Guys, I guess then you would have started when you were 5. That's true. Oops. math, banker, wrong, bad. So, no, I so appreciate, and Reverend Savannah is, she's traveled around the world and spoken in all different places, the Ukraine, and she spent some time in Egypt. So she brings all that knowledge to share here with us. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what she has to say today, and I'm hoping that my stand will work for her. So welcome everyone with Reverend Savannah Noel.
We're gonna try this. Yeah. We all have our thing. We all have our quirks. Thank you. Perfect. Hello, everyone. I see so many familiar faces. I met someone in the parking lot who had never been here before, and it was a really beautiful interaction. And where are you, Sandy? Where are you? Yeah. I didn't mean to call you out, just to say that it's really amazing. She knows Ken Gordon in Kelowna, who many of us know Dr. Ken Gordon, and we're also connected. Like I said, well, you're in the right place because you probably will connect with some people here who know other people that you know. So we're in the right place when we need to be there, right? Okay, happy International Women's Day. I think it should be every day, but I mean, yeah. So, goodness. Let me just take a second. Because this feels like a big talk for me. I've been contemplating for a really long time. As Tamara said, I started 25 years ago. That's probably what the 20-year thing was. And I've been really contemplating for a while now what the meaning of all of this is. This teaching. What are we all doing here? What is the main focus of my work? What is my teaching? What am I here to be about? And I think if we really were to sum it up in just one or two words, it would be liberation and freedom. And ultimately, I think it's about the freedom to choose and to know and to become more and to be. And as Ernest Holmes would say, the whole goal is to be free. He says freedom from discord of every nature. So I've been sitting with this question of how free do we actually feel? Not how successful we look, not how spiritually evolved we sound, not how polished our life seems to be of the Instagram, social media world that we present, but I really mean how free we feel within our own choices. How free we feel to follow that quiet voice within our bodies. How free we feel to disappoint expectations of another, to change our minds, to grow, to evolve, to leave something behind that wants to find you. And a big one is, and I've seen this in my orbit as of late with colleagues and friends, is this freedom to feel that we can speak authentically and that we can take up space. That it's okay to be seen. I think most of us say that we want freedom, but really what we want is certainty. We want someone to reassure us that when we're stepping out on that cliff and we're stepping into the next thing, that we're going to take the right step. We want someone to confirm this path and say, you're doing it correctly. That's right. Keep going. Go this way. Trust yourself. And I think the desire for certainty is where something really subtle happens, where we begin to outsource our authority. We begin to outsource our own intuition, our own trust of something within us. We begin to look to the world to define, the world to say this is what you should do, or this is how you should act, or this is what you're becoming. And I think for many of us, we can say on a spiritual path, we've looked to teachers and ministers like myself, and speakers and podcasts and books. We've looked to systems and organizations like Centers for Spiritual Living, which is a beautiful organization. For me, it was looking to people who were wiser and maybe calmer and more grounded, and I thought maybe they knew more than me, that they were somehow more enlightened. And so what do we do as the spiritual seeker? We read books, and we attend workshops, and we listen to those podcasts, and we gather wisdom wherever we can find it. the thing is that I love teachers. Both of my parents were teachers. And I think our teachers are really important, and our mentors, and those, what I would call in this organization with me, they were the movers and shakers. They were the people that were doing groundbreaking thing, and the cultural creatives that were paving this new path of ministry. And in this organization where I was like, I want to be like that. And so I love teachers, and I've had incredible teachers in my life, but somehow, in some way along the path, I realized something really inconvenient, is that all those teachers were not actually living in my life. They're not living in my life. And I think that's where my title comes in. So the title of my talk is, Kill the Guru, Free the Self. And of course, this isn't literal. You're not leaving here with some sort of like spiritual hit list, okay? But it's, at some point on the path, I think that when we're becoming fully ourselves, we have to stop outsourcing our inner knowing and outsourcing that thing that's within us. And again, this all ties to this teaching, really. It's this idea and this understanding that there's one source, one power, one life. That life lives within us and we have access to it. And it's this creative force that's moving all the time, and that we just have to align with it, that we just have to remember it. And I think that's the part we forget, is we forget to remember. And so instead of outsourcing our inner knowing and that inner nudge and this thing that's telling you to go this way, but you keep going this way, or you keep looking to someone. I know I did in my earlier years, in my, right out of college, I was looking for something to define my life, or to give me an identity, or to tell me which way to go, because I had no clue where to go and what to do. And so it all made sense when someone said, you are going to be amazing, and you are going to be great, and go this way. And I said, okay, I guess that's the way I'm supposed to go. But what I've realized is that it's not the teacher's job to really lead our lives. It's the teacher's job to return us back to our own knowing. But it's a return to the self. There's this familiar saying, and I heard this, I was in Los Angeles last weekend, and I was at this event that was so incredible, with these really powerful, you could call them, I don't even want to put them in a box, because there's so much more than the box itself, but many of them are really big influencers, and they've done great things in the world. One of them is a global performance trainer for Nike, and he's worked with indigenous peoples in Peru. And he's really traveled into the depths and the dark stuff, the dark, shadowy content. And he reminded us of that saying, I'm sure you've heard this, that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. But he added something deeper that I thought was really beautiful. He said, when the student is really ready, the teacher disappears. It's good, huh? Because you finally have learned to trust yourself. Because ultimately, no one can walk the path that only your soul knows. When I first started this path 25 years ago, I thought that the whole point was to find the right teacher. And back then, it was Dr. Michael Beckwith, the Agape International Spiritual Center in Los Angeles. And I took in like a little sponge everything that he ever said. And it was also, at that time, a path for me of wanting to be famous, having a lot of ambition and wanting to be great. And again, all of these incredible, powerful people in my life saying, Savannah, you're going to be something, and you're going to be great, and you're already a star, and all of these things. And it's like, wow, this is so great. Here's your destiny, go forth. And so what did I do? I did everything I could to pursue that which would give me approval, that which would help me be seen. I read the books, I went to the workshops, I became a practitioner, I traveled the world, I did all the things that you were expected to do to become the spiritual leader, right? I did the ministerial school. I was the youngest minister in this movement for a long time, until someone knocked me off. And I would sit in rooms with people who seemed wiser and more grounded and calmer. And I said yes to everything and everyone all the time, because I thought it would put me in front of people, and it did. And I've had an amazing 20-something years of my young life. And I've spent those years walking in this New Thought community. And what's beautiful about our community, I think, is that, it could have been the Christian community, which the first part of my life it was, where we were living in hell and separation and fire and brimstone and all of that stuff. But what's beautiful about our teaching is that we talk about consciousness and creativity and the power of our mind to shape our reality and the life we want to live. And it's been, really amazing. And I've loved it, and it's given me language, as it probably has you, to things you can't fully describe or articulate to someone else, but it's something you feel deeply within your bones. And yet I have always had this pull for something greater. I've always known, at 20 years ago, I remember saying to my mom, I don't think I'm going to stay in this organization. I think there's more for me out in the world. And at the time, it sounded kind of blasphemous because I was just starting, right? And I was in the movement with an identity that I, was very attached to. But there was something pulling me, and I rarely fit into this model of ministry. I'm sure you guys have figured out by now that I don't have a pulpit. And for years, people have asked me, well, why don't you have a pulpit? Why aren't you pursuing this path? I said, it doesn't feel right to me. It's not mine. There's something more for me, and I don't know what that is, but I keep following the thing. And it's felt very lonely. And it's felt very unknown and uncertain of am I really following the right path? Because my soul, it's that thing that Michael Beckwith says, that the pain pushes until the vision pulls. So the pain's been pushing me for a really long time, and I continue to be pulled over here, and I don't know what that next thing is. And if I'm being honest, I think I've always been waiting for something. Do you know that feeling? You're waiting for something. You're waiting for the big thing, or waiting for the breakthrough, or waiting for the miracle, or you're waiting for something, waiting for someone to recognize me, waiting for someone to say, you're ready now. This is your place. This is your role. This is your path. You did the thing, waiting for this thing to just drop into my lap to say, okay, you did it. You did it all. You're a star. You're meant for this, right? And I don't think that I'm alone in that, because I think that the humanness of us wants people to validate our path, wants to know that we're going in the quote-unquote right direction. But over time, something began happening within me, and this was the part where, and I'm sharing all of this, by the way, I hope you realize, because I think this applies to all of us, that something started to happen where I was getting this persistent friction. I would be sitting in circles of communities like ours here, and I would feel this fracture within me, this resistance. And I didn't want to talk about it, and I could tell maybe a few of my colleagues about it, shh, you gotta belong to the community. You gotta belong to the teaching, which I love, by the way. You gotta fit into this model. And the resistance kept growing, and I kept thinking, I'm seeking something more. I need a bigger pond. I need a bigger platform. I feel like the prodigal daughter who's gone away and has yet to come back, something more aligned, less jargon, more real talk. Seriously, for me. And slowly I realized this really difficult thing, which is that the path that I trained for and that I have dove into for so long wasn't completely, the word completely, the path that my soul has wanted to walk. It's only been one aspect of my unfolding. And that realization has been jarring and humbling and dysregulating and terrifying, because when you have invested the years that I have, 20-something years of my whole life and identity, years of study and service and relationship, stepping away from it, for me, has felt like betrayal. It has felt like, well, are people going to be disappointed in me? Are they going to be disappointed? Are they still going to support me when I step away for a while? Because I realized something really powerful last weekend with these incredible beings, that I have a belonging trauma. Anyone have a belonging trauma? Do you know what a belonging trauma is? I'm seeing you shaking your heads. I didn't realize I had a belonging trauma. That if I were to really be fully authentic and really aligned with what my soul is calling, then I'm not going to belong to this. And so I better cling to the thing that's familiar, right? You could consider this in terms of your job. You can consider this in your role in life, clinging to something that's familiar, because if you step out here into the unknown, into something greater where your soul's actually calling you, it's really terrifying. And so I thought, man, I have a belonging trauma, and my identity and my belonging has been tied to this organization for so long that I actually don't feel fully identified with anymore. And so now I feel this false sense of loyalty. Because not only do I feel a false sense of loyalty to the organization, but then it's not a loyalty to my own integrity and my own alignment. So the resistance and the friction I'm talking about isn't a failure. It's just misalignment. Because what I realize is that no person or organization or system can define the path that I'm meant to walk. No one can walk the path that only your soul knows. Say that with me. No one can walk the path that only my soul knows. So the friction then became the fracture. And it would appear to some, or maybe myself, that when we're in a fractured moment or misalignment, that something's wrong. But I'm here to remind us that there's nothing wrong. It's a place where we split from our truth in order to belong. So for me, it was, I am a minister. And now I'm like, no, I am a minister, and I'm so much more than that. You notice how I was having this conversation with a mastermind group yesterday. You notice how when we meet somebody and they ask us, who are you, or what do you, it's usually, what do you do? Do any of you have a hard time describing that or saying that? Does it feel limiting? Because to me, it feels very limiting. Like, well, I'm so many things. Why do I have to define myself by this one thing? Because then if I say I'm a minister, guess how people interpret that? You're all shaking your heads because you know. It's like, oh, I had someone the other day, I was talking about ministry, and I was talking about a spiritual organization, and she said, you exude Christianity. And I'm like, no, I don't. Don't put me in that box. But really, it's like defining ourselves by what we do when really there's so much more to us. And so what I've realized is that the friction, that subtle ache, was maybe because we silenced our intuition. Maybe we followed a path, which I know I did, made sense for everyone else. Maybe I stayed loyal, and maybe you stayed loyal to an identity or a part of your life that once served you that doesn't serve into the place that you're becoming anymore. So that friction, that subtle ache, for me has just been information. It's this deeper self that's saying, come back, Savannah. Come back to yourself. And this is where grief comes. Because there's this part of me that's like, well, I don't really want to leave it because it's all I've known. And so there's a grief in that. Any of you heard of the work of Francis Weller? Yeah. Francis Weller is an incredible teacher and has done a ton of work around grief. And he speaks about grief not only as something that happens when we lose someone, but also as something that happens when we lose a part of ourselves. Throughout our lives, he says, we abandon pieces of who we are in order to belong, to survive, to be accepted. And those parts of us don't disappear. They're waiting patiently for us to reintegrate them. Brandon Collingsworth, one of the guys who works for Nike, who was speaking at this conference, said that he talks about the indigenous traditions and how grief isn't something that people carry alone in silence, it's witnessed. In those communities, it's realized, it's witnessed, it's honored. It's like a rites of passage. He says it's that grief marks the crossing between who we were and who we are becoming. And so what I'm realizing in this journey is that you can't become who you're meant to be if you don't let something else die. So something has to be let go of. Something has to die in order to step into what we're becoming. And that's what I've been walking through. And so it's not just about me just stepping away for a moment. It's grieving an identity. It's grieving the version of myself who believed that this path was going to be handed to me. It's grieving the comfort of belonging to a structure that told me, this is who you're going to be, Savannah. Because when you step away from that, what is before you? Really wild, unknown territory. So just for a moment, I want us to close our eyes if you feel comfortable. And I want to take you through just a very brief reflection moment. And quietly ask yourself this question. What part of me have I had to silence in order to belong? What part of me have I had to silence in order to belong? And just listen for a moment. Was it your voice or your creativity? Maybe your truth or maybe your courage? And now the question I want you to ask yourself silently is, what part of me might be trying to come back? What part of me might be trying to come back? And when you've got it, just let's take a breath. We open our eyes. Just information. Because the work of becoming ourselves often begins there, I think, with the parts of us that actually never really left. They were simply waiting for us to return. And so if you feel grief about that, which I can relate to, it's not something to fix. I heard recently that grief is often what we feel when the soul outgrows a life that once fit inside. One of the sayings of this past weekend that I thought was really hilarious, but I think all of you can relate to, is someone in the room said, well, I get criticized or judged all the time because I'm a little intense and I'm a little too much, but I'm also really woo-woo. Anyone woo-woo? And Brandon, the guy who I've been talking about, he said, well, the indigenous people would say the woo is the way. The woo is the way. In our modern culture, you know, we dismiss intuition and ritual and symbolism and mystery as woo. But these indigenous traditions have always understood something really profound, and we do too in this teaching, that the unseen shapes the seen. We talk about all the time that consciousness is cause, right? Your body knows things before your mind does, and your dreams speak in symbols, and your grief carries wisdom, and this quiet guidance that you feel inside, the one that we often ignore because it doesn't come with credentials, it's often this most trustworthy piece that we have. So the mystical aspect, the woo, is not an escape from reality, it's just our deeper participation in it. And so here I am now, 20-something years later, with this path that shaped me, realizing that if I'm going to do the work in the world that I'm called to do, there's this part of me that has to leave the nest. I think I've slowly been doing it, like I've had 1 foot over here and 1 foot over here. And to really trust that the years that I've spent doing this haven't been wasted, and to trust that everything that I've studied has woven itself into the work that I'm becoming. To trust that my voice doesn't sound like anyone else's, and neither does yours. Because at some point, I think on the spiritual path, it stops being about finding the right teacher, and that's the piece of this whole talk, is that it's not about finding the right teacher. It's starting to become, if you know somatic work or you've done nervous system work, it's looking at becoming the adult part of your own soul, of trusting your own inner wisdom, of being your own authority, and that is the moment that we kill the guru. That the teacher is not outside of us, but the belief that someone else is there to define our path, because we remember this, and this is the theme through this whole thing, which is no one can walk the path that only your soul knows. Let's say it again in I tense. No one can walk the path that only my soul knows. Ernest Holmes said, never limit your view of life by any past experience. The only limit to your realization of tomorrow will be your doubts of today. Be willing to step out into the unknown and trust that the spirit within you is greater than any circumstance. So I want to close with this thought. I'm curious how many people in here feel like they're at a pivot point moment in their life. If you were to look around, but like everybody is raising their hand, if you are in a transition right now, okay, how about walking into uncertain territory? Okay, great. Phew, we're not alone. Okay, then I think this will land. I just needed to get a gauge. So there comes a moment, I think, on every spiritual path where we're called to step into the unknown and we don't get to know the ending. And that the teachers that once guided us can no longer answer the questions of our soul, and they can no longer answer the questions of our heart. And the systems, like we're involved in, for me, that once held me, begin to feel too small for what I am becoming, or for what you are becoming. And in that moment, many people turn back. I think many people give up. Many people stop. Many people stop moving towards the thing they really want. They return to what is familiar. They stay inside the identity that the world understands. They stay in the job that they don't want to be in anymore, or the relationship that they know they have outgrown. And a mentor of mine this past weekend said, I want you to take out a piece of paper that's 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. And I want you to write down all the names of the people on that piece of paper that truly see your vision and truly see you for who you are. The people that if you tell them your dreams, they will say, yes, I believe in you and I see you will fly. Like the people that are really your like God squad. And she said there's very few people usually on that piece of paper. But some people choose something braver, and some people step into the unknown and they listen to the quiet voice inside them that says, there is more here. There is another way. And so I invite you, if you find yourself in that place right now, if you're feeling the fracture, if you're feeling the misalignment, if you're feeling the grief, if you're feeling the pull towards something that you can't even name yet, I want you to know that nothing's wrong. You're not lost. It is like being initiated. You are being initiated into your own knowing, into your own authority. And the most radical thing that I think we can do in this lifetime is not follow someone else's path perfectly, but to trust your own path and walk it, even when no one else can see where it leads. Because the guru that we've all been searching for is where? Yeah. The guru we've been searching for has been here all the time. And it seems so obvious. And the moment that we trust that voice is the moment that I think our real life begins. So let us just take a moment to go within, and I will bring us into a closing affirmative prayer. Just taking a deep breath. Taking in all that has happened this morning, allowing it to bask within you. That one gift, that one gem that was meant perfectly for you to hear today. Just reiterating and knowing that we are connected to each other, that we are connected to something far greater than this human, rational, conscious mind. This power and this presence that is guiding and directing and transforming and healing us in this very moment as we continue to align with it. That the soul knows the path. The heart knows the way. The woo is the way. And so we trust it, we sit in it, we open ourselves up and become receptive to the qualities of what and who we are becoming. A greater joy, a greater expansiveness, a greater presence for love and peace and alignment in our lives and with each other. And so I bless this community. I bless each and every one of us on the path, the unique path that we're all walking on, knowing that it is all perfect, it is all aligned in the twists, the turns, the falls, the grief, the loss, the feelings of separation. I trust and know that we are always all finding our way back to ourselves. And for that I am grateful. And so let us just declare, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Before we launch into this song, because it is International Women's Day, and I read the talk title, and Jay and I are working on a music project, and the last couple of days we've been just crazy getting all these charts and songs together. And one of the songs is Put a Shine on Your Shoes. But as I was sitting there meditating with the talk and also, oh yeah, it's International Women's Day, how am I going to sing this song from my true self? So I realized that, okay, because in this song it talks about changing your attitude, but it's also spoken from a man's perspective. It comes from the 30s. So it's like straighten your tie and all that stuff. They're going, wait, that's not the song to sing on International Women's Day, but yes, it is. I can straighten my tie. I can shine my shoes. So I'm singing it from the power within me and the truth of the lyric, not getting into a political discourse on it all, right? Just going with the flow of the the kid, the 5-year-old that came in and said, "Oh, that's a great tune," and they just sing it with full conviction, right? Okay. So here we go. When you're feeling low as the bottom of the well, and you can't get out of the mood, do something, pick yourself up and change your attitude. Give a tug to your tie, put a crease in your pants. But if you really want to feel fine, give your shoes a shine. When there's a shine on your shoes, there's a melody in your heart with a singable happy feeling. What a wonderful way to start to face the world every day with a dee-dum-dee-da-day, a little melody that is making the worrying world go by. When you walk down the street with a happy-go-lucky feet, you'll find a lot in what I'm repeating. When there's a shine on your shoes, there's a melody in your heart. What a wonderful way to start the day. When there's a shine on your shoes, there's a melody in your heart with a singable happy feeling. What a wonderful way to start to face the world every day with a dee-dum-dee-da-day, a little melody that is making the worrying world go by. When you walk down the street with a happy-go-lucky beat, you will find a lot in what I'm repeating. When there's a shine on your shoes, there's a melody in your heart. What a wonderful way to start the day. What a wonderful way to start the day.
What a wonderful way to start the day. Thank you, Leora. So amazing. Wow, I'm just sitting here in awe of Reverend Savannah's talk. Inspirational, and that reminder that wherever we are, it's perfect. It's right where we need to be. And that little nudge or itch, whatever it is for each of us, is calling us forward. So let's step into that. Let's take that. I almost saw it as a little bit of a, not a challenge, Savannah, but I think a little bit to step into what is our next thing. So with that, I want to say, before our offering, I want to extend a warm invitation about what I'm going to be talking about next in our workshop afterwards. Really, if you haven't ever been to one of our workshops, if you haven't been to a class yet, I'm going to try and keep it to an hour so that you can all get out into the sun and play this afternoon. But I think this is a piece that you won't want to miss. It's about finding out what is your why you're here. Why is it that you come here on Sunday? What is that little thing that's pulling you forward to get up, get dressed, look out the sunny side and say, nope, I'm still coming. I'm still coming. So I just, if you haven't signed up as a member yet, it's fine. Just show up, be with us, and dig in a little bit. And that, I think, is what Reverend Savannah's talk was about. Let's dig into what is next and being part of this spiritual community. What does that mean for you? So as we move into this time of offering, let's remember giving isn't about obligation. It's about participation. It's love circulating through us. So take a breath with me and let's enter into this next time together. This time that we've talked about this month, our theme is what if? What if every gift, no matter the size, is a small yes to the world that we're building together? So today, again, I'm going back over the workshop and discovering what membership means to me. We're going to be exploring the 3 faces of membership: a place to belong, a place to grow, and a place to give. And this offering right now, this is giving that face of giving in action. This is the law of circulation, that beautiful holy flow of love moving through us and back out into the world. And when you give, you're not just supporting a building or a budget. You're saying, I believe in this circle, in this community. I want this community to thrive. I want there to be a place. I want there to be a place that no one walks alone. That's why we're here. So take a moment, and if you have a gift that you're going to give, please hold it to your heart, or simply place your hands over your heart and silently bless it. Not the money leaving you, but as love circulating through you. And let your imagination rise a little and see in your mind's eye something good that you've been longing for in your own life. Something real, something meaningful. And feel if it's already here. And then hold our beautiful center in that same loving gaze and seeing it thriving and filled with people. And yet, it's warm and welcoming. A spiritual home, a place where no one walks alone. That's what we're building here together. So I'd ask you, I have a new affirmation today. I'm going to ask you to read with me, I think. I think I put it, oh, there it is. I'll have to read it from up top there. I didn't put it in my notes. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. I am a channel of love and abundance. I give freely, knowing I am freely supported, and so it is. And now let our offering begin, and welcome up Leora and Jay.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful,
Hopefully you all grabbed a little joy note. I forgot to mention that. And if you didn't, that's okay, because I'm going to read one out for you as my practitioners make their way up front. Yes, yes, yes. And Savannah, if you want to join, you can join us up front if you like. If you want to change the world or be an influence for such change, you must begin within yourself by changing the way you see the world. What a perfect one for that talk. Oh my gosh. And that's by Eric Butterworth. Oh my gosh. So I just take a minute and I want to bless these gifts, knowing that we bless the givers and the receivers, and we bless this center, this beautiful, growing, dreaming community, knowing that every gift, every yes, every act of love makes a difference. Because of you, lives are touched, hearts are opened. So we let these words go to that law that always responds back to us, yes. I let it be, I let it go, and so it is. So we have two practitioners here today in person, and I think online we have Catherine. Hello, Catherine. I forgot to say hello to you earlier. We're also right now in the process of bringing on a new online practitioner. She's based out of Winnipeg. I almost said Winterpeg. Sorry, Audrey. But yeah, so you'll be seeing her face in some of our classes in some places along the way. But just know our online practitioners, our practitioners here, are here to support you. If you would like a prayer or would like to know a little bit more about spiritual mind treatment, these are your go-to people. And as a minister, actually, I'm always a practitioner first. That is our calling here, is to be prayer partners with each of you. So as we go through this, our practitioners are available, for a quick prayer after service. You can call them up, have a conversation with them, or if you have something a little deeper, book a session with them. They really are a wealth of information and love. So I ask everybody to stand now for our closing affirmation. And I didn't change that today. But repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening in me right now.
Something wonderful is happening in me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called intuition.
It's this thing called intuition.
I know it.
I know it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I am it.
I am it.
And so it is.
So it is.
And now we bring back Leora and Jay.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are building a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are building a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are building a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are building a new world now. We are building a new world now.